Woman indicates or imply the word of a nation. She is as old as this wretched station or this wretched tourist center or the heritage center. You help this needy. Tomorrow God will help you in one way or the other. Do good. Good will come to you. Do bad. The worst will chase you. That old woman represents one part of India. India as a country has witnessed many ups and downs. Indians were puppets in the hands of the British. They were enslaved under the British hands. We were under the servitude of British Empire. Post-independence, India was blemished with the bloodshed of partition riot. We all know the history, but yet, being ignorant, many term India to be the land of beggars. Hello everyone, we have crossed our paths yet again. Here's all the season's greetings to you, wishing you all at your pink health. Today, yet again, we are here with a new topic, a very interesting topic, and that's an old woman by a very proficient poet, Arun Kolatkar. Here, woman indicates or imply the word of a nation. India has surmounted the success path with all the sabbatical life. Now whatever we are, be it anywhere across, it is remounted as or renowned as one of the most developed nations. We agree, we disagree, but what takes us to that flag of pride is our patriotism. Here, if you're wondering, how is that we are relating an old woman with that of India? Arun Kolatkar depicts this old woman for that of the heritage. This woman is as old as Indian heritage. Whatever it is, every woman in herself is patronized of being that beautiful daughter of Mother India. Irrespective of caste, creed and gender, of course, we all embosom our nation and we are very patriotic. Here is a story of an old woman who wants to prove herself. She begs. Yes, she is a beggar or she is a needy in simple terms. We normally don't consider it to be a beggar. It's a very pejorative term. It's a way of dichotomy where we use in. But here is a needy woman who wants to earn money but out of all struggle. She isn't sitting lame without any work, yet she works very hard. She shows the tourist the very shrine what she considers to be very pious. Let's go through this. Here you have the poet introduced, Arun Kolatkar, only terming up to the instructions here. I want you to look on to the picture. This is the same picture which you can find in your text leaf. Here you see an old woman who holds tight and grabs the collar of a man. She is taking the man or the visitors to a place wherein she says that I'll show you something interesting. In the other way around, you have to pay me alms. A-L-M-S or A-R-M-S. It's very different. Alms, A-L-M-S, which means money. So that's what the picture signifies. Elucidating the lines of the poem, here we go. An old woman. Old refers to that she is in a very aged phase. An old woman grabs hold of your sleeve, the shirt sleeve is talking about, and tags along. She drags the tourist along with her. Why is she doing that? She wants a 50 paisa coin. Here, you can actually term this to be the 1 mark question in your question paper for your examination. How much is that she's expecting? She isn't expecting 100 rupees. She isn't expecting even 50 rupees. She's only expecting 50 paisa coin for whatever the work she does. She's self-respected and wherein she thinks that without helping or without self-help, I cannot earn money. That's why she decides to drag the tourist alongside the sleeves of her and takes them only to occur, or if you have to say only to acquire 50 paisa coin. She says, she will take you to the horseshoe shrine. Again, 1 mark question. This can be 1 mark and this eventually the 1. Where is she taking you to? She drags you through a collar, and where is she taking you to? She is taking you to the horseshoe shrine. So, one thing to imagine, there is a thing in common, an old woman and the heritage. Both replicate each other. She is as old as that heritage center. She has been growing there. She had spent her youth and she is in her mid of her age and we don't know when she will perish. But she thinks it as a prime duty to stay in the same place and be a tourist guide. She is self-acquired guide. She terms herself to be the guide. And she says that I don't want the money without any cause. I'll serve your purpose. I'll take you to the heritage center. I'll show you something very interesting. You would have seen that. But yet, come along with me. And she's all with her compulsion. She don't request you. She directly drags you to the spot. And what does she need? She needs 50 paisa coin. And here, where is she taking to? She's taking to the Horseshoe Shrine. It's a spot. It's a tourist spot. Next, you have seen it already. He throws a direct question or a direct posture to say that as a tourist, you are as a tourist. You might have seen that. You would have seen that in prior. She hobbles along anyway. She starts limping along with you. She limps because she is aged and her body is completely sinking and sinking. She comes along with you. She's just like that glue which one sticks to you unless you save her purpose or serve her purpose. She is reluctant to let off your collar. She hobbles along anyway and tightens her grip on your shirt. When I say tighten, she's very dedicated and a very compulsive woman. She tightens her grip. It shows that she is very old, yet her diligence, what she has to serve with, it's very, very strong. And she tightens as much as the tightening capacity she has. She tightens her grip on your shirt. Your shirt is a descriptive, wherein Arun Kolatkar is describing us as tourists. You are known to the fact that there is this kind of woman who is only living for her self-respect. She will take you to the tourist spot. She'll show you all that is needed. Yet, you will have to pay her 50 paisa coin and she's very, very compulsive. She won't let you go. See the diligence here. She is very shrewd. She holds that audacity to state that you must come. You must come with me. There is no choice. She is leaving that to the tourist. The very first line shows that, the very first of the paragraphs, the very lines of this shows that she is very, very audaciated. She holds that audacity, a shrewd kind of nature, because that's survival. She's old. She's shrewd. And that's what the description shows from the very start. It's a cohesive lines. These are the cohesive lines. These are known as cohesive or coherent, wherein it connects the latter paragraphs. The former paragraphs, the first paragraph connects the latter paragraphs. That's what we call as cohesive or cohesion. Cohesion also is a form of term. This is a cohesion where one paragraph connects with that of another, and the structure is very clear. It's very lucid and it's very subtle to understand. Going forward, she won't let you go. She's very shrewd. You know how old women are? Old in the sense it's not up to the age. It's not to the age that the poet is referring to. He's saying that old refers to shrewd. She is very, very shrewd. And once she sticks, she cannot get detached from you at all. She's adjoined with you until you agree and go with her to the spot and decide on giving her 50 paisa coin. They stick to you like a burr. It's not only this woman they are talking about. They're talking about all the worldly women, wherein the nature says that they are very timid, they are very shrewd, and they are with audacity. They stick to you like a burr. Burr refers to that insect which sticks to you, and it's very, very shrewd to come out of your shirt or your body. And also a glue kind of thing. Once it is stick, unless it wants to go out on its own, it does not move. So old woman is compared with that to a burr, and there is a simile, there is a figure of speech. Next, what is the entitlement here? An old woman is the title wherein the old woman is entitled as impatience and ambiguity. Impatient, she is very impatient. Ambiguity, confusion, and everybody are puzzled. Ambiguity, very unclear, very obscure. The tourist stands in a very awful manner and awestruck, staring, what is it all about? Where is she taking us? How can an old woman be too very shrewd and with audacity? And that's where the entitlement paves the way for you. Here, you turn around and face her. With all reluctance, if you turn around stating that I don't want to come with you, what will be her answer? With an air of finality, or finality is what you pronounce. When you term this, you will pronounce it as finality, but also the correct version of this is finality. You turn around and face her with an air of finality, in the sense that you don't want to go, or you want to go, you will decide. There is a decision, there is an ultimate decision. And what is the decision? You want to end the fast. Fast in the sense the anger, the frustration. You want to end it for once and a while. Why is this old woman bothering me? This is what most of you are. Why don't she mind her own business? Why is that she is very reluctant to let go of my sleeve? And farce can be any difference, or also any enmity or anger, resentment. So you want to come to an end. Final, what is an ultimatum? You will think that why can't she mind her own business? But when you hear her say, what else can an old woman do on hills as wretched as these? Emotional blackmail is what you term it as. She starts speaking. She says, when she realizes that you're ought to blood on her, you're ought to pounce on her with her resentment or anger, she starts asserting, she starts speaking. And what is it all about? How does she convince you? She says, what else can an old woman do on an hills as wretched as these? So, Arun Kolatkar, being a mouthpiece of this woman, shows us a clear picture that this heritage center, that the woman dwells there, is as wretched as she is. She is as old as this wretched station, or this wretched tourist center, or the heritage center. So India is completely with of the cultural heritage centers and also monuments. So this woman represents one part of India wherein there are many women, or there are many women who serves the tourist center and who is under poverty, who are poverty struck. And this woman represents that one part of India wherein many have termed India is a land of beggars. But in parenthesis, it is no longer, it is not anymore is what we can say. But truth remains very hidden. Next, you look right at the sky. All with the ambiguity. You start looking up the sky. Clear through the bullet holes she has for her eyes. Bullet holes which shows the sharpness of her eyes. She has a very sharp eyes wherein you cannot ignore. You cannot be ignorant. You cannot ignore the eyes that she holds for herself. And he compares her eyes with that of the bullet holes. Bullet holes refers to the sharpness, the keenness of her eyes. Next, here you have the entitlement as pitiful. You know pity, when you have a soft corner to someone wherein you have the sympathizing or empathy towards someone, and that's what we call as pitiful. And how is she all of pity? And as you look on, you looked at the sky and you replicated the sky with that of her sharp eyes, and moving further. And as you look on, the cracks that begin around her eyes, and again the cracks also indicates the crack in the hills, and begins around her eyes, spread beyond her skin. It shows the struggle, the generation struggle or strife of that old woman. How could have she evenly served there? She was surviving under the hills. She's surviving with that all pity that one could acquire for her. And he compares her skin. Spread beyond her skin is what he says. He says that her skin just looks like the crack that begin around her eyes. She is aged. And those tired eyes of that old woman shows the generation strife. She has struggled very much in her life, and that's where she stands. And the hills crack, and the temples crack, and the sky falls. When we say the sky falls, it refers to the doomsday or the end of the world. This woman is as old as the heritage center we are talking about. He says that whatever the sunken body that she has for herself, it shows her struggle, and the hills crack and the temples crack. So everything defines the age of the woman. Age or the struggle is what you can say. You have to keep in mind, every stanza here symbolizes the old woman being a part of that India. Wherein it has seen many struggles since independence, and post of that the partition and riots and chaos, trials and tribulations. It also shows the trials and tribulations of that old woman. She is as aged as that heritage center in itself. Next, with the plate glass clatter, you would have seen the needy clattering the plate and the cups to draw your attention so that you can help them with need. Around the shatter-proof crone who stands alone, and again shatter-proof crone can refer to the vicinity. Shatter-proof, wherein it cannot be broken, and crone, it can be the vicinity we are talking about. It can be anything that she holds to her pride. And who stands alone? Who stands alone here? Whom is the poet talking about? The poet is talking about the old woman, and she is all alone. There are no one to take care of her. And you are reduced. The time you realize that how needy she is, you are reluctant to even give her 50 paisa. And then you will stoop down in your own level. And you are reduced in the sense stoop down, very low. In your own eyes, you seem to be very, very low. Why? To so much smaller change in her hand. You couldn't even give her 50 paisa. You couldn't help her even with 50 paisa. Now, you're too very low than that handed paisa that you have given to her. You are stooped down because you are reluctant to give her the money. The time you realize the trials and tribulations of that woman, how needy she was, I would have helped her without any hesitation. You will come down to the very reduced level. You stand nowhere in self-respect because you hated, or at the very first of the glance, you hated that old woman. Though she was very shrewd, though she was with all ambiguous nature, though she was very impatient, you also termed to be the one. Let's see the message of the poet. One picture or one illustration or an illustration speaks out 1,000 words. How much ever I would have written, you can see to my left, everything is blank because no words can describe this picture. And what does the picture state? That you help this needy, God will help you. I spoke about karma in my last class. What is karma? Karma is a deed. What goes round comes round. You help this needy. Tomorrow God will help you in one way or the other. Do good. Good will come to you. Do bad. The worst will chase you. And that's what the message the poet has to give. The tidiness, the untidy of course, but still he is in need of money. And you're helping him anyway. Next, let's come to the question and answers. One very simple thing. I did not jot down umpteen questions or many question and answers here. But one question, if you understand, it's worth of 1,000. And what is that? Bring out the significance of the title. I've told you, an old woman. At the very stance, you'd feel that it's just a story of an old woman. But deep down there, it's very meaningful. And what is the significance of the title? That old woman represents one part of India, along with the imagery used in the poem. What all the imagery is? The sky is an imagery, the hills are the imagery, the temple is an imagery, the Shiv shrine is an imagery, and everything of the heritage center is of imagery. So if you understand this, writing an answer onto this becomes very easy. You can add on talking about the British rule, how India has faced all the sabbaticity of life or Indians would have faced, and also post-partition, And what all happened when the frontiers were divided. So India has seen many sabbatical eras to witness, and yet today also we are facing the same. So this old woman is as old as the history of India. The old woman has seen all the struggles as that with that of the country in itself or nation in itself. So closing quote, let's help the needy. Needy, of course, we say poor. It's not a beggar. I would want to demolish the word known as beggar. We don't normally use the derogative way. It's a pejorative way. Pejorative in a very abusive. Beggar, when we say beggar, it's a very abusive term. So we normally use as needy or poor. While we are blessed to help. As long as we are strong enough, as long as we are fortunate enough, or we are filled with fortune, let's help the needy with whatever it is possible. So thanking you. With all bliss, here's wishing you a pink health. Vidyashram for you, standard retained on learning. I'll see you with yet another new poem. Until then, take care.